everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is always good to spend time with you. Hope you're all well. It's Angela here. Right, today I'm going to do an oldie but a goodie project for this Christmas journal. One I haven't done for years now, a couple of years actually. And I first did this probably about 4 years ago. But yeah, it is one of my favorites. So it's called Pretty Pockets, and I'm going to show you how easy this is to do. And it really looks lovely in a Christmas journal. So if I turn over to this page here, this page is the back of this shorter page with this nice natural fabric look here. And then here's the little pretty pocket that I've made. Yeah. Now here's one of the yo-yos again, or Suffolk puffs. I do have a video called Bits and Bobs. I have actually added it to the playlist for the Rustic Christmas Journal project. So if you're wanting to know where all these projects are for this whole journal, please go and have a look there. They are in order of how I did them, so you can just follow along. So let's get back to the pretty pockets. We've got our little yo-yo over here, and our little element that I've stuck on there from our fussy cuts. And then I've made these little tags here by sticking on the circles that you get in my add-on kit for the Rustic Journal. There I've just added a, this is just craft card, and then I've cut a smaller one in the red check, and then just put another circle on there. I've just added eyelets and, you know, again, made circle tags as opposed to rectangular or square ones. So that's what I've done there. So here you've got a pocket at the back. You've got some nice edge finishings there. So I've put one in there, and then this one I've tucked in here. Then at the back, I've made a little pocket here, and that's using my mini pocket template. These are templates from over 5 years ago. This one's called Templates 2. I will link it into the description box below, where you see I've got the gateway template, etc. on there, I think. So this is what I've done there. It's got lace on it. I've added a little element from the fussy cuts and just added one of my smaller tags in there. And then I've just added a second tag. So those just go into the back here. All right, so that's what we're doing for today, and I hope that you're going to follow along with me. I love doing these, and I do slightly different versions every time I do it. But yeah, as I say, it's one I really wanted to add here, and look how beautiful that looks there, like it was made for that page. All right, so let's put that to the side. And then I'm going to show you how easy this is to do. And I found a slightly easier way to do it, as you do every time you do it. Right, so what I've done is I've taken 2 sheets of paper, any sheets of paper, doesn't matter what theme you're working on. This works for any journal theme. I've used these 2 pieces of paper. Now, I will say I have used double printed paper. So what's on that side is double printed on the other side. I haven't done it on this case because I just want to show you how I cut it. But when it comes to the cutting bits, you'll see I've got it double-sided printed. Okay. So what you need to do is you've got your 2 sheets of paper. They need to be the same size. So I'm using A4, but it doesn't matter. If you're using US letter, it's going to do exactly the same job. All right, so what I want you to do is take one piece, put it down like that. You need a pencil. All right. So just have that one there. Then I want you to take this piece and put it this way, not that way. And just line it up with your corners there. Okay. So get that touching nicely. And then take your pencil and run it against the edge of the paper. And you can then cut that off. So we'll do that in a sec, all right? Now I want you to put the other one down. Put this one on top. Just line those corners up well. Okay, and do exactly the same. Okay, so there's no measurements. This is just using the width of the paper here to make an exact square. All right, without having to fold it or anything. Okay, so I'm going to just cut one of these because I have cut mine already, but I just want to show you. You can use your scissors or your cutting knife, whatever it is. So just using my ruler, I'm just going to line up on that line I've drawn and cut off the excess, which you can keep. Okay, do that with both pieces. Now what I did next was I did actually just put them underneath each other and I cut them together, but you don't have to do that. What I want you then to do is just turn it so that you can reach both of these alternate corners, and then we want to just line our ruler up there. Again, you can draw a line and cut it with your scissors, but I am just going to do this so that you've got two exact same triangles. And in maths we would have said isosceles, if I record, if it serves me correctly, where two sides are the same angles. Right, so there we go. You've got two of these. Now you only need one in this color and you need one in the other color. All right, so I did both of these the same, so I'm just going to put different orders of paper together. I'll explain that in a moment. So you've got two triangles from this, and you'll want two triangles from this paper once you've cut that off. Okay, let's move that to the side. So here they are. I've got one in this paper and one in this, and as I said, I've got the double-sided printed. Okay, so with one of them I'm going to get this color on the left, and with the other one I'm going to get that color on the left. All right, so this one has this version, okay, and the one we're going to make now is going to be the other way. Okay, just to give it a little bit of a difference. Okay, so what I want you to do then is take your pencil again, and I want you to measure from the first one on the left 3 inches along the bottom. All right, so to put it on your board, or you can use your ruler, yeah, and I want you to measure 1, 2, 3 inches. 3 inches is 7.5 centimeters, guys. And then I want you to fold that over. Now make sure that you line it up with this line here, okay, hold it, and then use your bone folder, oops, excuse him, and fold it over. Okay, so we've folded over our 3 inches here. Okay, now I want you to take this piece and I want you to measure, keep that straight like that. I want you to measure 4.5 inches across. Okay, now 4.5 inches is 11.5 centimeters ish. Okay, so if we go like that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.5. All right, and then you're going to fold that over again. Keep that with the edge lined up nicely. Okay, so that one's 3 inches, that one's 4.5. So 7.5 centimeters or 11.5. Then I want you just to put those into each other like that. All right. And now when we go and measure the base along here, I want you to measure another 4.5 inches. All right, so it's just after the end of that there. End of that corner is 4.5 for me. It might be slightly different for you. Okay, and fold that one over. We're going to cut this one off in a second, but just fold it over for the moment. And then exactly where that is, take your bone folder. This is what I did. I went like that to score it, and then I folded that one over. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so now I want to come back to these. We can pull that out. I want to cut this last bit off here. We're going to use this bit, but so hang on to that. And now you've got this. All right, so again, this is on the outside, this is on the inside. We're going to fold that over. We're going to now fold that over, tuck that one under, and then that one we're going to stick over here. All right, so let's get this stuck down. Okay, So the first one that you want to stick down is, let's stick the base here. Right, so we'll get this stuck there, and then we can put a little bit on there. Okay, just keep it straight, that's the most important bit. Okay, now let's just check that we've got it right before we press it. Okay, so that looks about right. Okay, we want to get this one stuck down here, so I'm just going to run it over this bit like that. And again, just make sure these are straight here, that's the most important thing. Like that. Okay, now we want to take the opposite side one, and you want to fold that over there. Again, just keep that pressed down there. And then the last one, we want to just go, we're just doing the base like that, get that folded over there. And then this little one here, I have inked the rest of them, but I'm just going to ink where I couldn't ink. And then I'm going to just make this a little pocket as well. So just on the two sides of the triangle. And there you have your little base. Now you could mass make these with any pieces of paper that go together really. All right, so my finished one is about 4.5 inches across, so 11.5. And you've got a pocket there, a pocket there, a pocket there, and a pocket there if you want, but I'm going to use this one and these two. All right, so got a couple of goodies here now, and I've used the I've alternated the green and the red rickrack. So I put the green there before, I'm going to put the green here this time. They're eating their chicken chewies there. It's called Bribery and Corruption, so I can get some peace and quiet. You know, right, so we'll get that there like that, straight across like this. There we go. I'll leave that there for a moment just for it to dry, and now I do want to go slightly under there, and I'm going to use some of this, the red version. So just going to do a little bit like that, but not much more, and then just grab my scissors and chop that off there, and I'll trim it properly when it's dry. Okay, so we've got those two bits on. I've put lace on these. I've done different things with these before. If you go and have a look at previous videos of mine, you'll notice that. Right, so I'm going to just cut that off and cut that off now. Probably easier to turn it around. All right, I'll keep that little bit. Okay, so we've got that now. So I really like how it's coming together here. I'm going to now put on my little, let's put this on. I had the red one here with like a sandy gold color button, and I've made another one in the fabrics from the fabric bundle, and I still have a couple of ultimate bundles in my shop, so if you're wanting to grab, but they are on a sale, so please pop on over if you're interested. Right, I'm going to stick this on just over here, move it slightly over. And I'm going to just grab my little clips. And then I wanted to put a little die cut, fussy cut, sorry, over there. So I've got this cardinal bird, which I thought was perfect for there. So I'm going to stick him on. Perfect for Christmas, isn't it? And that's everything for that for the moment. Right, now, while we're waiting for that to dry, I have cut out, using that template, I just stuck it onto this piece of paper. I've inked all around it and scored the fold lines really where those meet and across there, so just 3. So then it's just a case of turn it over. You want to get some glue on here, so we'll get some glue on there. Tend to put a bit over there and a bit on the edge so that it does that, and then a little bit like that. There we go. All right, so we've got a little pocket there, and then I've got 2 bits of lace. So I quite like the touch of the lace there. So let's just get that in there. Okay, so I quite like that. So again, I'm just going to use this. I want to get the join at the back, so I'm going to use these lines here as a little guide. So we'll go higher up. This one can have a little trim. We don't need it to go overlapping. So I'll just chop a little bit off there. Okay, and then we want to just get some of the red because I think that just makes it pop. So and then again, we just want to get that over, and I'm going to just chop off the excess. It is the back, but I still want it to look neat. Okay, so there we go with the lacy bit. And then I have just taken another little fussy cut from there, and I'm going to stick this one on this little pocket just to add a little bit of, it sort of finishes it off in my estimations. So we'll hold that down for a moment. Great. Right, so we're good to go. So here's the fun part. This is my favorite part. Right, so I've cut a bit of craft card again. I've cut out these circles using my Gemini. I just had a look there, Gemini die cuts, but I don't think it's available anymore. But you know, any circle punch or any shape that you have that's different, you know, hexagonal, whatever you have, heart shapes, anything. This particular one is just about 2 1/4 inches in diameter, and I think this one is 2 3/4 inches. They sort of nest together. All right, so I've just used paper here and these circles from my add-on kit and added some ribbon and eyelets. So I'm going to tuck them in here. I'm going to put the colorful one in the crafty color side and the crafty colored one in the other side. Yeah, so I've done it opposite to those with the sizes, but that's just because of how I was cutting it. Right, so I'm going to take these. I'm going to put this one in here and slide that into our little pocket there. Right, and then we're going to take this one and put that into the pocket behind, which it's now catching on something. There we go. And there we go. I've used different red ribbons on that, but I just love how that turns out. What do you guys think? Yeah, so we've got 2 of those, slightly different. But yeah, you've used 2 pieces of paper and really easy to make. So I've shown you where the one's going to go. So let me just grab this. Oops, things are falling over here. So this is the one that I'm going to put in over here. All right, so we've got the one that's going to go on over there. And then on this other signature, we've got the green version of this. Okay, and that's on the back of this lovely little Cotswold church rectory, I should say. And that I'm going to put on over there. Or we could change it, because that's green, so maybe I should put that there and that there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okie dokie. That's our little project for today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you give it a try, because I think you'll be addicted. Making these in front of the telly, that's a really relaxing pastime. And then making the base for these, you can have loads of all the papers that you want to use up, and decorate them as and when required. Go and have a wonderful weekend. Look out for me next Tuesday. I'll have another video for you. Yeah, and take good care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.